Oh, Charlie's barely got in his seat. We are good to go. We are hot to go, as Chapel Roan and the kids say. Charlie didn't even know who Chapel Roan was until today.
Yeah.
Which I find mind-blowing. How do you not know who Chapel Roan is? I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like a fan of her music or anything, but she's the new kid on the block. How could you not know?
I don't know, man.
How could you not know?
Lost it.
You have. Like, whatever the cultural moment is, you've not got your finger on it.
Yeah.
You've not got your finger
on the pulse, man. It's all gone.
But it's okay, because you could say we're back in the zeitgeist, because Daredevil Born Again is just wrapped. We've gone week to week. If you're just joining us at the finale, go back, watch all the previous episodes, and like and share this video. Subscribe to the Full Fat Podcast if you want to get more of our bullshit every week. Daredevil Born Again, the grand finale. The grand finale, as Green Arrow used to say in Injustice 1.
Oh, yeah, time for the grand finale.
It was one of the finales of all time, wasn't it? Should we talk about the pros?
Yeah, let's go into what we liked first, yeah, for sure.
Daredevil Punisher team up.
I mean, where's that been? That was great.
Yeah, like we just got a little teaser, didn't we, in a previous episode?
Yeah.
And then the set photos have been tantalising us for so long. Finally, we got it.
Yeah.
It was very sweet. It's probably the best action scene in the series. I'd say, other than like when he first fights Muse.
Yeah. I think whenever Benson and Moorhead have directed an episode, I feel like we've really noticed the difference.
Yeah.
And I think, the action in this episode was
it was stellar.
Yeah.
Brutal, gory, but also playing to their styles. Like, Matt was more acrobatic. Punisher is just a battering ram.
Yeah.
I was saying to you while we were watching it, Daredevil doesn't kill. So if you're one of the bad guys and Daredevil and Punisher show up, and you have to face Punisher whilst your mate's fighting Daredevil, you pick the short straw.
Yeah.
Because Daredevil, he's only going to bust your brains.
Yeah.
Your brains in. Like, Punisher,
He'll leave you in a wheelchair.
yeah, Punisher's just going to shoot you.
End your life there.
Like, I love the cutting back and forth. Like, Daredevil's like, yeah, like fucking hitting people, and then Punisher just, like, they're dead.
All of them would just run to Daredevil and he
Oh yeah,
on for Frank.
yeah. Honey, how was it at Henchman Training Day? Oh well, Punisher and Daredevil showed up. Oh God, don't worry. I fought Daredevil, but my friend Chris, he wasn't so lucky. He fought Punisher. He's gone.
He's gone. I'm just in the hospital. Can you pick me up?
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah, like in a brutal way as well. Like probably shot
yeah,
his hand off and then shot his head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually survived the initial onslaught from the Punisher, but he got a testicle shot. And we were like, do you want to live? And he was like, no. Like in Black Dynamite.
Yeah.
Do you want to live? But yeah, that action scene was very sweet.
Yep.
And then Karen shows up to save them.
Yep.
I also loved Daredevil when they're arguing, like, there's a grenade in here. Then they both leap. That
was great, yeah.
But I did have to think, they both leap out the building. Daredevil saves Punisher with his, like, grapple.
Yeah.
What was Punisher's plan if Daredevil hadn't have done that? Like, he just left down the building, aim for the bush.
Yeah. It's weird for a man who's got all the tactical gear. He does seem like a guy who just goes in with no plan, as shown later on.
Yeah, he goes and confronts the fanboys, doesn't he?
He just goes head on, hopes for the best, doesn't he?
That was one of the better scenes of the episode. That was cool to see all these cops being like, these 30 cops being like, oh, we love you, Frank. Like, we're such fanboys. And he's like, I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. Fucking hate you guys. Like, yeah, it was sweet. But yes, the Punisher stuff all delivered. He still topped it.
He still got it.
Karen delivered.
Yep.
Great to see her back.
Yep.
It feels like the show's healing. It's born again, you could say.
I do feel like it did feel a bit like this is what we've missed a little bit. And a little bit like Karen was kind of missing. I feel after I saw her in this episode, I was like, you know what? Now we've seen her in this episode, I'm like, we needed her throughout the show.
We've talked a lot about the creative overhaul and how it's been felt like two creative visions. And even though I think overall this finale is a bit underwhelming, I do think it's the confirmation that we've said across all these weeks of the initial episodes were good, and now we're back to Benson Moorhead and the new showrunner and the returning characters. I think we're set up in a good position.
Yes.
Bullseye's clearly going to be in the frame. Punisher's involved. Karen's back. We're talking about Foggy again. By the way, this might be a hot take because from episode 1 till day dot, everyone was like, "I hope Foggy faked his death." There's this comic where he faked his death. He's definitely faked his death. Look, I know as an Ilsa Faust death denier that there's nothing stronger than denial for when your favourite character gets killed and you're like, no, we didn't see them. We didn't see the body. Yeah. It's fine. They're alive. No. Foggy Nelson is dead.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best decision. Like, if you're going to try and get all that emotional baggage out of him being dead, whether you love the character or not, I think to undo it at this point would be so cheap.
Yeah.
And there's still time for them to do it. Marvel has bowed to fan pressure before. The Mandarin.
He's bowed to...
Yeah, they could always rise a Skywalker.
Yeah.
Season 2, he could pop out the woodwork.
Yeah.
Let's bring everybody back. So yeah, it's not completely confirmed yet, but I think it's a good sign that we've got to end the season 1 and he's still dead. And it led to Karen's great speech about how Foggy believed in him, and I just think it's fuel for the fire. I think the Foggy era is done. That's fine. Yeah. There's enough good characters in this show.
I 100% agree with you. And I actually think that overall, this episode or this season wasn't a loss, like it could have been.
It's a W train, ultimately.
It's a win. It's not, I would say, what people necessarily wanted. I feel like. I do think, like we've both discussed already on the podcast, that there's potential that season 2 can be the season we really want.
It'll be a bit more of a unified whole,
Vision,
and it'll be a bit more like, oh, this is the story they set out to tell, rather than, hey, this week it's Cherry and the new characters. This week it's Bullseye and the old characters. One thing I do think sucks is, Bullseye coming back only to do one assassination attempt, sit out of the finale, and then there was a lot of chatter amongst us and amongst the fans, like, why did Matt save Kingpin? What's the motive? And then this episode, he's just there like, well, I heard a gunshot go off, so I instinctively jumped in front of the bullet. It's like, is that it?
Yeah.
We're not get any more on that? It's kind of weak.
There's a lot. I think it is a very messy season. Muse, Bullseye, it does feel, like we've said already, a show at odds with itself, with glimpses of greatness. And I think that's what's kept it going. Yeah. I think otherwise we'd be sitting here like, slaying on it a bit more. Obviously we haven't gone into some of the things we disliked yet, but yeah, I do think overall this season was fine enough to get a second season. I do feel like some of the characters that we set up at the start, I don't really feel like went anywhere really towards the end. Particularly like the I feel like a Gandalfini.
I feel like he's developed, but like I kind of wanted a bit more by the end.
Yes,
but I think that's common for a lot of the characters. Where it's like
100%.
Like his girlfriend Heather. I like that she's starting to side more with Fisk. I like that by the end she's accepted his job position, and it seems like she's going to end up being Team Fisk.
Yeah,
but has the relationship been as deep as it could have been this season? I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have had more Punisher. Like, I like the stuff with Vanessa and Fisk. They're kind of reconciled by the end. Again, could have had a bit more of that.
Actually, the chemistry between Karen and Punisher in this episode, I was like, oh, I could have done with some more of that actually throughout.
I could have lost the bank episode
for sure.
Had a bit more development in between time, but it's been a bit of a rocky road. But I'm glad the Punisher's back. I'm glad it's still like mature. It's not like being completely MCUified.
Yes.
But then other times I think it is kind of at odds with itself tonally, because like it's trying to be this really serious adult show. But then I do think it is based on comic book. It's fine for it to be comic booky.
Yeah.
But I just keep thinking about how much better the Penguin was at striking the notes of like, I buy that Oscorp takes over the crime world.
Yeah.
It feels like a natural progression. The gang war between him and Sophia feels really well developed. Whereas this, it kind of feels like Wilson Fisk gets out of jail after season 3. How did he get out? We don't know. How did he get off of worse charges? We don't really know. Now he's mayor, Mr. Mayor. And now, as soon as he's mayor, he's like, we're going to turn off the body cams. We're going to hunt every vigilante down. And every single episode, someone's like, you can't just do that, Mr. Mayor Fisk. Like, there's rules in place. To hell with it. And then they're like, okay, well, he made a pretty good point. To hell with it. We're just going to do it anyway. Yeah. And then he's like openly being evil in front of everyone. And then like, he kills the commissioner. And it's just like, the commissioner resigned. No one's going to look into that. No one.
For a show that kept emphasizing like interviewing the people of the town, as soon as Fisk made any decisions like that, where I'm like, I kind of want to know what the people are now thinking. We never see that.
Yeah.
And I feel like we could have done with like, hold on a minute. He's introducing martial law. Is it everyone not kicking off right now? Like, is that not?
BB was really underused in this finale.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's another key character where like interesting setup, and for her to be like eyes on the ground didn't quite go anywhere.
No.
But again, I don't want to make excuses for it, but I do think like could all be thrust for season 2.
I agree.
In a really great way. I can't wait to see that black suit. That's going to be so sweet.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get more Punisher. We confirmed to get more Bullseye.
Okay.
Be interesting to see if Muse does come back. And D'Onofrio is still hamming it up to a great degree. It's still awesome.
Yeah.
Well, should we talk about that? The General G, the Skull Crusher.
Yeah. Yeah. He got his own version of the Mountain Skull Crusher.
That was brutal.
That was crazy.
I think that's
Arthur's head off almost.
Yeah, I think it was like a practical bust as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? I think that's the thing that Charlie Cox and D'Onofrio said they were surprised ended up in the show.
Yeah.
Because that is proper gore. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's cool. I like that they're pushing the envelope.
I agree.
I don't think the show needs it.
Yeah.
Again, I think the worst thing that happens in Penguin, not to keep comparing it, but I think it's hard when it's like, it's a very similar kind of comic book show. It's a very similar kind of crime-focused show. Like Batman and Batman's Gotham and Daredevil's New York kind of facilitate very similar kind of Frank Miller-esque worlds, don't they?
Definitely.
I don't think that gory moment, as cool as it is as evil as when Cobb sets Falcone's son alight, or he douses him in oil, makes him walk over to the mum, then sets the pair of them alight, and they burn together, and then you see it from his face where he's like, that's right. And then he films it and gives it to Falcone. Like, there's nothing nasty as that conceptually. So, like, it doesn't really matter, like, how gory it is.
No.
And I just keep thinking about, like, where we ended up. I wish we'd have filmed the Penguin week to week.
Yeah.
Because that was just a joyous
week to
so
week. Much fun. Yeah.
It was, isn't it?
That was really fun.
And every week we had so much to dig into, whereas this, it was kind of like a bit of an up and down, wasn't it? Sometimes it was good. Sometimes it was kind of like, eh. But I just think by the end of the Penguin, you know, everything that happened with Vic, everywhere where Sophia got positioned, where Oz got positioned, what happened with his mum.
Ended perfectly.
Yeah, that final shot of him dancing.
I wanted to clap. Yeah. And
the signal
outfit. He's got his outfit on. Yeah. I feel like this season, the head crush was kind of like the arc that they've both, you know, that's the one thing I do have kind of like this season, but I feel like, again, obviously it's been at odds to itself, but one thing I've kind of liked is the constant parallels they've been making between Kingpin and Daredevil in terms of them both embracing who they really are and not trying to hide and pretend to be sort of these more civilized versions. And, you know, and I think that was sort of, you know, demonstrated by him snapping the head, and Daredevil kind of having that conversation with Karen where he's like, you know, I didn't know who I was after Foggy. I was trying to figure out who I was. Now I know I need to be Daredevil.
That's going to go first till, isn't it?
Yeah.
It seems like he's ditching the Matt Loke. So, I mean, it seems like he's almost like been outed.
Yeah.
The fact they sent the cops to his house.
Yeah.
It's kind of like up in the air, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because Kingpin said that, because obviously he jumped in front of the bullets, saved him. And then he said something about, we're just going to kill him because we want to get rid of the vigilantes. And it was a pretty cold thing to do after the man tried to save your life.
Yeah.
But it was interesting how he justified it in his mind of like, oh no. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. But it is funny because I do think the MCU, it being part of the MCU now, is kind of a weird thing of like, you're constantly thinking like, all right, the lights have gone off, where's Spider-Man? Well, this has happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird with New York, isn't it? Because New York in the Marvel Universe is so congested with superheroes.
Yeah.
You know, not only have you got like Avengers Tower, I know it's now like Thunderbolts Tower, but you still got that presence there.
Yeah.
You've got, even in Daredevil's world, like the Defenders. Where are the Defenders? Right.
I do feel sorry for them though, because it's like, how do you? It's nearly impossible to think about these things. Like you can't, because it's like but it's hard for me at the same time when he's like, we're going to put martial law into effect. We're going to get rid of all the vigilantes, for like me not to believe that the people of the city are not like, well, hold on a minute. These vigilantes saved us during this invasion.
I do think they're going to come in season 2.
Yeah.
I think, but this thing, I excuse it more with like Doctor Strange lives in New York, but you're not going to see Doctor Strange. Right? I excuse the Thunderbolts aren't there, the Avengers aren't there. Captain America, Sam ain't flying down with his wings.
Yeah.
I excuse that. Where I think it's weirder is like the people that inhabit his world, like the Defenders.
Yeah.
Because the fact that he can just, at the end of one random episode, just go and see Punisher. He goes and visits him.
Yeah.
He's still alive and kicking. He's still in the area. Like, where's Luke Cage? Where's Iron Fist? Where's Jessica Jones? Like, they're the weird ones.
But we thought that was what the reveal was going to be, right?
But when he walks into Josie's and they're all...
He's like, I need a team.
It's
And
like
then we
good.
get like
The shot of the barmaids, the cop from the bank episode, Cherry. It was like so anti-hype.
Yeah.
It almost, I feel like they made it worse by making a moment out of it.
But yeah, they should have just,
I feel like it would have been better to be like, we need an army. Maybe end it with him and Karen being like, we're gonna find people. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Even if it's just
or
them
even
Cherry,
it cuts to him going in to them.
Oh, you don't see.
And then going, we need a team of you guys. Because you've seen it then. Instead of being like, we need a team.
Yeah.
Now let's move.
Yeah.
Let's make a whole, let's play Radiohead.
But I think it's going to be his big team up things next season. He's going to be leading the team against Fisk. I think undoubtedly.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's weird is obviously Spider-Man should play a big part in this, but he is such in a movie realm compared to Daredevil. Although they have met now, obviously in No Way Home.
Yeah.
It's just so weird when you're watching this stuff to think like, canonically, this Daredevil met that Spider-Man, and then 5 minutes later, that Spider-Man met like up with Doctor Strange, Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe, like the most outlandish crossovers.
Crazy, yeah.
And he's just in the middle of that. Like, oh yeah, Parker, I got you off that charge. Anyway, back to Hell's Kitchen. Oh, everything's so fucked, Karen. Foggy's dead. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Where is Spider-Man? Where is he? I know he's like obviously forgotten him. Everyone's forgotten him.
Yeah.
But everyone still knows of Spider-Man as a vigilante operating in New York. Where is he?
Yeah.
That's when it gets weird. But maybe next year, I'd be shocked if they got Tom Holland in on the TV show stuff.
Has there been any mention at all of like them possibly in the future adding heroes into the MCU characters? Have they said?
I've seen rumors of Defenders being in.
That makes sense.
I think confirmed at this point, all but confirmed. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist that long.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely getting it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, I think we should. But even like, I mean, I don't really care for Hawkeye, but on like a story level, it's weird that he fought Kingpin in New York in his show.
Yeah. Hawkeye also would make sense.
Yeah. Or the other Hawkeye, the Haley Steinfeld Hawkeye. Like, either one of them
Yeah.
should kind of be here, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of weird. It's like, they literally have a grievance.
Yeah, they're
I guess Echo will be there as well.
Yeah.
Like all those kind of characters. Those street level characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am excited. And it has been nice to have him back. And it's been very. It's not pulled its punches, for better or worse.
No, and I it's reminding me how much I'd missed Daredevil, and that's only the goal, right?
I think what we need from next year is a bit more refined storytelling.
I agree.
Some more directing on the level of the Benson and Moorheads. I hope they come back for more of these. Although having said that, we're both quite big fans of their indie work.
Yeah.
What they came up on. Like The Endless, Synchronic. Is it Spring?
Yeah, Something in the Dirt.
Something in the Dirt.
Yeah.
Was Spring their first one?
Yeah,
and then it's The Endless.
The Endless, yeah.
And then it was Synchronic. Am I missing? I feel like I'm missing the one.
Another one, and then
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing one somewhere there.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
There
but
is
then Something in the Dirt was their most
recent
feature, wasn't it?
film. Yeah.
I would love to see them do one of those again.
Yeah,
but I do appreciate it's so hard to get those films funded. They're on that Marvel money now, but I like they're bouncing around the TV world. I don't necessarily need them to make a Marvel feature. I like that they're playing around in the Loki world, in the Moon Knight world, in the Daredevil world, and they're bringing something to those. And I hope they're making their bag.
Yeah,
I just hope that if they keep playing in the Marvel TV space, it'd be nice for them to announce a feature soon, something completely different, a la Synchronic, Something in the Dirt. Let's see that.
I agree.
Although, finger on that, just one last note on the street level assembly. They did work with Anthony Mackie, didn't they? So Maybe.
Yeah, that is true. Maybe. Is that the noises he makes when he comes down?
Yeah, he's like,
He is the American Eagle.
that's the thing. I always feel like it would have been cooler if he went from the Falcon. Like, he's Captain America.
Yeah.
But they call him, like, the Eagle.
The Eagle.
The baldy.
Yeah, the baldy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Marvel, call me. Yeah, it was good. Seamless, wasn't it? Seamless. If I need a double for Mackie, here I am. Here I am. But yeah, I think overall, it's been a solid season.
Yeah.
It's not like it's always difficult when you've seen something like the Penguin so recently, or you go back to the earlier seasons of Daredevil, which I think were stronger. Like,
especially when the Penguin is like, you could literally do that with Kingpin.
Yeah,
Like, it's the same.
you replace Kingpin, you replace Penguin with Kingpin. You call the show Kingpin.
Yeah.
You set it in New York. It's all the same type of plotting.
Yeah.
You got a stellar Daredevil series there.
100%.
But yeah, I think we're excited to see where it's going to go.
Definitely.
Before we get onto the other TV show that we need to start covering, as Daredevil closes, another show begins, and then somewhere in there will be Andor from next week.
Nice.
Big things to come. I just wanted to let you know, John, I'm not sure if you're aware.
Okay.
You know the whole palaver with Mahershala Ali Blade?
Yeah.
The movie's now rumoured to be completely canned.
Yeah.
You do know that even if it is canned, we are going to get some form of Mahershala Ali Blade.
Why?
Well, initially he was a voice cameo, just a voice in the Eternals.
Right, yeah.
We're going to get his voice again, right? I think the creators of this animated show thought that his movie would have come out by now, and probably maybe even Marvel thought his movie would have come out by now. So they gave them the go-ahead to include him in the Marvel Zombies show, which is a spin-off of the What If show, which has not been very good.
Oh, good.
And he's not going to be playing the normal Blade. He's going to be Mahershala Ali Blade as Moon Knight. He's going to be part of the What If Zombies show.
What the fuck?
So So the first time you're going to get any kind of proper Mahershala Ali Blade
Is as Moon Knight.
is going to be as Moon Knight and animated and in a TV show.
They're such weird combos. Like, why do I want to see Blade as Moon Knight?
It's always the stuff you like. You know what it is? It's a cool like splash panel seeing him as Moon Knight. And like I've seen the get up, it looks cool.
Yeah.
But like, if that's the like a What If like on season 10 once you've done all the good ideas.
Yeah, it's so true.
I don't need to see that.
No.
And it's super weird that we've not got the Blade movie, but we're going to get that first.
Yeah.
Like not even normal animated Blade, like a weird like you know what, it's like the equivalent of having like the Captain Carter Captain America before Steve Rogers, or having the T'Challa Star-Lord before the normal T'Challa.
So
like we're going to get the weird What If Blade before any kind of normal Blade.
It's so strange. It's such a weird idea as well. Like, is there no way they can do like an animated? I guess it's for kids though, isn't it? I was thinking like, like
do R-rated animation.
Avengers versus the Xenomorphs. Like, can't we get something like that?
Oh, and do a What If?
Yeah, I mean, if you could do a What If,
I mean,
I don't know.
It's all under the Disney banner now.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Like,
or like Punisher kills the Marvel universe. Like, what can it be something like we've already kind of got? That I
mean, you've got me going now. Why can't we get like this Predator Killer of Killers, but it's like a one-off What If Predator versus the Marvel Universe, and like each one is because they do it in comics. If you can do it in comics, like why not
Predator versus
give the people what they want?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
No, that is interesting.
It blew my mind, and it's confirmed. It's not a rumor. It's confirmed.
And when is this coming out?
I think it might be this year.
Weird. Strange.
The Marvel Zombies show, I'm like, I didn't really care for the Zombies episode. What If? I don't know if you watched it.
No.
Did you watch any What If?
Early after the first season, I think we watched.
I think the Zombies is in the first season. So I don't think I've seen past season 1.
Oh,
maybe you have. I
didn't watch one of the episodes.
Yeah.
Which like ones that sounded interesting. Like
towards the end,
I quite liked the Ant-Man one. There was a couple of ones that were like, all right, and I watched like the main first 4 or whatever.
The problem I had with the Zombies one was it was comedic, and the survivors were like the people you like. You wanted a cool cast of survivors. It was like it was like Ant-Man's head in a jar, stuff like that. It's like cool, I guess. Like kind of want.
I feel like that's what it was the whole time. That's what I was interested as much.
Yeah. Here's a great What If idea. We're just gonna tuck that in the drawer here for later, and here's this idea everyone wants.
Welcome to exhibit Moon Knight is Blade.
It's literally the Simpsons Lee Carvello's putting challenge. Would you like to play again? You have selected no.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, Doc 2 is back.